What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with a brand new review for Love and Hip Hop Huntsville, you guys. That is what we're gonna call this show because Love and Marriage Huntsville has really kind of gone down the route of Love and Hip Hop. Because did you guys see the stuff that happened? Well, you guys, we didn't really see what happened, but we saw Mel on her live screaming for Martell to stop because his kids were there. But like I said, we don't know what happened, so therefore I'm not going to speak on what we don't know. We won't speak on that until we actually get the episode that this happens. The one thing I will say is I just don't agree with some of the stuff that's going on, be it on Mel's side, talking about Tisha's daddy was in her DMs, and I don't agree with the stuff that Miss Wanda was saying about Mel alleging that one of her kids might not be Martell's. I don't agree with that. But that's neither here nor there, you guys. This is Love and Hip Hop Huntsville, Season 4, Episode 10, Destined for a Storm, you guys. So before we jump into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know you can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and you guys by sharing that video. So with that out the way, without further ado, let's discuss Love and Hip Hop Huntsville, shall we? So we pick up the episode where we left off in last week, and you guys remember it was Miss Wanda calling them bitches and saying, you know, that saying, what is it, never trust bitches who buy shoes out of a box or who can't buy shoes in a box or whatever the saying is. I don't understand it because I thought all shoes came in a box. I mean, I know you can go to certain stores like, you know, you can go to Old Navy and buy the flip-flops and they're not in the box. I know you can go like to, but when you go to department stores and you go to shoe stores, those shoes are always in a box, but neither here nor there. So Kimmy was telling Miss Wanda like, hey, Wanda, there ain't gonna be no bitches at this party. So then Miss Wanda's talking about the fact that, you know, Kimmy was calling her out. No, Kimmy wasn't calling you out. All Kimmy was doing was telling you, like, at this event, there's not gonna be any bitches here. That's all she was saying. There's just not gonna be any bitches here. You okay? Then she said, everybody else be quietly. Miss Wanda, that word is not quietly. That word is quiet. Okay, whatever. So then we see Marceau and we see Maurice. They're talking. Marceau is, I've already said it more than once that Marceau is a gaslighter. But Marceau also is someone who talks in riddles. So he's telling Maurice the situation between him, Miss Wanda, and Letitia, how he wants to sit here and blame Miss Wanda for the rumors. And I'm like, you can't blame Miss Wanda for the rumors because the rumors are already out there. Now, what you can kind of blame her for, and even you really can't blame her for this, I feel like Miss Wanda is doing this because, you know, Letitia says that she's not on social media. So Miss Wanda stays on social media, and that is her way to bring it to Letitia. But you can't really sit there and just blame Miss Wanda for the situation. It is as much as you could want to say it's Miss Wanda, it's a lot of y'all because y'all talk about, y'all live on social media. So let's not play that game. So then they have a discussion about the Atlanta trip. And, you know, Maurice is telling Marceau that before they go, they need, you know, he needs to iron some things out with Letitia and get an understanding. Now, now, can somebody correct me if I'm wrong? Because the way that Maurice was talking, one would believe that he knew about this Atlanta trip, even though he's professing to Kimmy that he didn't know. Because if you just found out about an Atlanta trip, we're not going to sit here and have a conversation about a trip that I just found out about. What I'm going to say is, so, you know, Lewis was just, you know, talking about the an Atlanta trip that Martell is having. Y'all didn't have a conversation with me, so how y'all gonna just throw this out there and I knew nothing about it? Kimmy, I think your man might have knew a little bit more than what he's saying. That's all I gotta say. I think Maurice knew a little bit more about this Atlanta trip that Maurice is letting on. I really believe Maurice knew more than what he's saying, but hey, neither here nor there. So then we see we finish up the party. That's a done deal. I still ask the question: does Jalen not have any friends? Because I that was a cast party. Let's be real. That was a whole cast party. A whole cast party. So then we move over. We see Melody. So Melody is with Miss Vanessa, and Melody is relaunching her skincare. I forgot that Melody's skincare line was called Embrace before. I completely forgot all about that. But she's rebranding it, and she's naming it 7th Avenue. I believe that's what it's called. I could be wrong. You guys can correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, but I think it's the name of, I think it's 7th Avenue. And congratulations to Melody for that one. So Melody is having a relaunch party, and Melody is talking about, you know, who all she wants at the party. She wants people that, you know, have positive energy. Honestly, you guys, when it comes to Melody and this whole positive vibe and positive energy, we get it, girl. We get it. We get it. It's like you beating us over the head with a stick at this point. Like, we get it. We get it. We get it. We get it. It's cool. If you want, you know, if you don't want Martell there, if you don't want Destiny there, if you don't want Letitia there, that is fine. Ain't nobody sitting here saying that you gotta invite them. But I am really tired of her with this whole positive energy and like Melody. Let's be real. You can be quite negative yourself. Just saying. I'm just saying. So Melody also tells her mom that she is changing her last name. And for that one, I say congratulations, you know. I will say congratulations on changing your last name. Don't do these things for the kids. Do what is best for you and for your kids. So I'm cool with Mel on that one. I have no problem with that. Do what is best for you and what is best for your children. But, you know, that's that. They talked about the photo shoot that she had. You know, Miss Vanessa didn't like one photo where I guess Melody's butt cheeks were kind of out a little bit. But, you know, she said she's selling skincare, so it is what it is. It really is what it is. But let's pause here, you guys, and move forward. All right, you guys. So next up, we see Tiffany and Kenny. They're meeting up. So Tiffany, remember, she left Jalen's housewarming party early. So she's asking Kimmy, like, you know, how did things go between Stormy and between Destiny? And, you know, Kimmy is like, well, I pulled them both to the side to have a conversation, but things didn't go that well when I pulled them to the side, because one felt this way and one felt that way. Like I said before, I was actually on Stormy's side, surprisingly, right? I was on Stormy's side because when Destiny was talking to her, that was very condescending, calling her sweetie and stuff like that. That was very condescending. So I was on Stormy's side, but at the same token, Stormy did have a little bit of a unpleasant disposition about her. But I'm starting to kind of look at Stormy. I'm like, that kind of seems like what her aura is. It just kind of feels like what her aura might be, but I could be wrong. Hopefully, because I know that they're still filming season four, the second half. I hope with this second half we get a little bit of, I hope we get a different side to Stormy. But we shall see. So Tiffany asks Kimmy what's going on with her. So Kimmy says that she passed. She took her test for her brokerage license and she passed. And she says that, you know, she and Maurice have a brokerage company. I'm like, girl, he is. Y'all remember when Love and Marriage Huntsville in the early seasons? Remember, she's a nurse, and remember, he wanted her to leave her nursing job to come and work with him. This was before the pandemic happened. The Scott brothers. Selfish. It's all about them and what they want. And for the longest time, I always thought Maurice was different from Marceau, and even that other one whose name I prefer not to ever say his name. That other brother that I just think is God. I mean, that man is obsessed with this show and with Melody. But that other brother, he's a hot mess. But they're all the same. They're all the same. How did you know what? I ain't even going to ask that question because I was about to ask the question, but I'm going to leave it alone. So, the interesting thing for me with this scene is the fact that Tiffany is asking Kimmy for advice. Because though I guess she's talking about like working in their relationship, how do they balance it? But Kimmy was like, when she and Maurice first got together, she was in the corporate world, so she was the one that was always working, and now it's switched with Maurice being an entrepreneur and him working, and now she's saying spend more time with me. It's a reversal. And I was thinking to myself, when I was watching this scene, I was like, wow, now isn't this interesting? Because all last season with Tiffany and Lewis, y'all were giving unsolicited advice to people as if y'all are the poster children for marriage. Y'all have only been married y'all had only been married for a year. Tiffany, has a surprise groom. So now she's asking for advice. So if you listen to it, she's asking about time. So obviously she and Lewis don't have enough time with each other. So if you don't have enough time with each other, how do you guys then have enough time to have sex and create a baby? And then once that baby gets here, that's going to drive a bigger wedge between you two because you haven't fixed the issues that you already had. All you are doing is you took one issue and you came together to create another issue. Because if you you're not spending time with each other, but you're going to find time to spend time together to have sex and create a baby. Once the baby gets here, your time is going to be, it's going to be delegated towards the baby. So I don't know what Tiffany is thinking here. You have your baby. You guys are both going to be giving all of your time and attention to the baby, not to each other. So yeah, I don't know what Tiffany's thinking. Storyline maybe? Sounds like it, huh? So now here's the thing that's been blowing me for the last few episodes. Now you guys remember Tiffany has been talking about going to Utah to find her dad, right? Why am I the only person when she kept saying Utah? Am I the only person that thought the state of Utah, like the Utah Jazz, Salt Lake City, Utah? Am I the only one that thought she was talking about the state Utah? No, she's talking about Utah, Alabama. I'm like, wait a minute. So y'all like literally like probably going up the street, basically. And you've been talking about Utah this entire time as if we're talking about going to Utah, like the state of Utah. Okay, Tiffany girl, if you say so. So then that segued them into talking about this Atlanta trip. So, Kimmy thinks that it's not necessarily a good idea for them to go to Atlanta with all the stuff that is, circling them right now with the last Atlanta trip that they had. And she's talking about, she didn't know anything about it, and neither did Maurice. And like I said earlier in the review, Kimmy, I think it might have just been you that didn't know about this Atlanta trip. I'm starting to believe that Maurice knew about this trip. Maurice just didn't know how to break the information to you, or that he just didn't care to tell you about it. He probably wouldn't have told you until the day of the trip. But hey, if Kimmy believes it, I have no problem with that. So then we move over and we see Messy Tell. So it's about damn time. So Messy Tell is looking into getting his builder's license finally. Let's give him a round of applause, shall we? All right, yes. Round of applause for Martell for getting his builder's license. Because Martell has been, like I said in a previous review, Martell is like a leech when it comes to people with this builder's license. Martell is very lazy. He doesn't want to do it. He wants to reap the benefit. He wants to bring things to he wants to bring these contracts to people and not really, because if you look at it from the outside looking in, it looks like he wants to bring these people to contracts. Melody, Chris Fletcher, the other guy that he was dealing with in the previous episode. It's like Martell wants to say, "Hey, I got this contract for you," but that person's going to end up doing all the work of building the home. Martell ain't doing nothing, and Martell wants a cut of bringing the business to them. And to that, I would say, you seriously. So Mel'Nika has got him with the tutor to take the test, and the test, because from what I've heard, the test is open book. Now I know when it comes to an open book test, it sounds easy to pass an open book test, but it might not always be easy to pass. You have to know how to pass an open book test. I think that's what sometimes people forget, because I've had plenty of open book tests and it'd be like, what the fuck? I'm not the worst test taker, but I'm not the best either. Like I don't like open book tests. I'll tell you guys that one right now, because when it comes to an open book test, the test questions don't necessarily, unless you get a test that the answer specifically literally comes from the chapters, you have to go in, with the open book test, you have to go through and look and search and find the answer. And sometimes and I think my thing when it comes to like open book tests is they're timed, and that's what I think that's when I get the most nervous and stuff, is when a test is timed, because I feel like I gotta answer this many questions. If it's like 200 questions, I'm like, damn, I gotta answer all these in a certain amount of time. So I don't like open book tests, because I feel like most open book tests are timed. If you give me a test bank or something like that, or if you just tell me, like when I was in college and in high school, if you tell me, read chapters 4 through 6, I'll read those chapters. I'll take my notes down, and I'll take my notes. If we did an outline in class, I'll go off my outline and over my notes, and that's how I've always passed tests. If we have an outline and the notes that I take for myself. I've never been a fan of open book tests. Never been a fan of open book tests. If you say open book, open notes, bitch, I got open notes. Like, I got open notes, but open book, I don't, it ain't for me. It is not for me. But yeah, so with tests, I think she said he has to get 65% correct, and there's 40 questions on the test, so he has to get at least 26 of the questions correct. I'm like, that doesn't really sound that hard. But again, it goes to your learning style. So I'm not gonna knock Martell, and I'm going to actually uplift him, because he is going forward with doing this. So I'm gonna uplift him in that aspect. But you guys, what we're gonna do is pause right here, and we're gonna move forward. And I actually believe we're gonna start wrapping up the episode. All right, you guys. So next up, we are at Mel's relaunch party. So we see Tiffany and we see Kimmy talking to each other. Now, Tiffany, why do you feel that Mel would invite anybody to her event that she's not getting along with? Yes, in an ideal world, you guys would all be able to uplift and celebrate each other. But you were at Galentine's Day, so why do you think that would be a thing? I'm just confused. I'm confused. Why do you think that would be a thing? And also, she's talking about, her relationship with Mel. I'm like, I don't necessarily know if you and Mel are going to be in a good space going forward, because you've been quite messy this season. So I don't necessarily see you and Mel being in a good space for very much longer. I feel like you're going to be on the outs with Destiny, as well as Martell, and as well, actually Martell is not on the outs with her right now. So you're going to be on that island with Letitia and Destiny, because I don't see it. But hey, it is what it is. So we see Stormy. She shows up. I was confused why Stormy had those sunglasses on inside. I never understand people who wear sunglasses inside. I did that for my senior prom, and I was like, what the hell? I did that in my senior prom. I wore sunglasses with my tux, and I was just like, Why? Because I could not see. I literally could not see anything. At one point in the night, I was like, you know what, these sunglasses got to come off because I can't see shit. So I don't understand why people do that, but hey, if you like it, I love it. So Kiki, she's there. I don't know what Kiki had on. I was quite confused and quite puzzled about what Kiki was wearing. But hey, she showed up. So she speaks to Stormy. Stormy was like, hi. And then she danced away from her. I was like, hey, I feel you, Stormy. So Stormy is like, you know, she's not a fanned with a D. I was like, did she say fanned? She's not a fan of not Kimmy, but of Kiki's. And what she said made logical sense to me, and I'm actually on Stormy's side. She's not a fan of hers because of how she came to Melody's pajama party and basically was sitting there talking shit about her cousin. She ain't a fan of that. But I challenge you, Stormy. You say you're not a fan of that, but you're still cool with Mel. Because that speaks to both Stormy, that speaks to both Kiki and to Mel. Because let's just think about it. If this woman can literally sit here, Kiki, no pun intended, Kiki and gossip about her cousin, what do you think that she can do to you? That is her flesh and blood. What the you think she's doing behind your back? So I wouldn't trust anybody like that. And I'm saying that for both. I'm just saying that from outside looking in. Like I would look at everybody sideways. I'm like, so I would look at Kiki like, damn, that's your family, and you came over to this party and you talked shit about her, and then I'd be looking at Mel like, but damn, you invited her, and the shit got kicked off at you. Like, nah, I don't rock with people like that. That's how I would look at things. You guys can look at things can look at things differently. It is what it is. So Kiki felt as if she was dismissed and there was some dry shade. And I was like, what is dry shade? She said hi. She said hi. So I didn't understand the whole dry shade comment, but hey, whatever. She felt like it was some dry shade. So she addressed her, and you know, Stormy was like, well, you know, if you felt that way, that wasn't what I was trying to do. Girl, I want to acknowledge her. I really feel like Kiki was looking for a moment at that particular time. I just really felt like Kiki wanted a moment, and that's all it was. So Mel did her demonstration of her products, and after that, she went and spoke to everybody, and she was talking to the ladies. And when she was talking to the ladies, she was asking them, was it positive? They were like, before we got over here, not really. So after that, Kiki wants to have a sidebar with Kimmy to talk about the situation with Letitia. Kiki, you were wrong. Just say I was wrong. Like, she was talking about, you know, what she said was in private and in confidence. I was like, in private and in confidence? But you had a whole mic pack on. There were cameras recording this, filming this show. So what you said wasn't in private, nor was it in confidence. And then, you know, Kimmy brings up the fact that Kimmy is so talking about that she hasn't been to any of Mel's events, but she's talking about she's cool with Mel. But Kimmy says, you know, I've been around for 4 years and you've never been to anything of hers. And she says, yes. So I was like, what's your point? Like, Kimmy made more valid points in this conversation with Kiki than Kiki was. Kiki was trying to make some points, but I was just like, girl, you falling flat on your face. Like flat, like a tire. It was just falling flat. All right, you guys. So wrap up the episode. We see the Scotts having dinner. To be honest with you guys, I stopped listening to this conversation with the Scotts. They talked about Wanda for 1 minute. Like I said, here's my thing with the whole Wanda situation and Jalen's party. The reason you didn't invite Kimmy, this is to you. I'm addressing you, Kimmy. This is to Kimmy. You didn't want to invite Martell to Jalen's housewarming party because of the mess that comes with Martell. But anywhere that Wanda goes, mess follows her. She brings the mess with her, but you still invited her. What's the definition of insanity? Exactly. I think that was insanity. Wanda came to Jalen's graduation dinner, brought mess. Anywhere Wanda goes, she brings the mess. So you thinking anything other than mess with Wanda, it's insane. So, but what I will say about Letitia is there's a way that you can check your mother and be respectful. Be like, hey mom, I get that you love me. I get that you want to defend me. But I'm a grown ass woman. I can handle my own. I don't need you to handle that. Let me deal with Mel. Let me deal with whoever. Let me deal with whoever. Let me deal with it. You don't have to get involved. But Wanda's having a taste for her food truck. Yeah. That would be a hard ass no for me, especially after seeing that pile of junk that she piled onto that baked potato. Absolutely not. I wouldn't eat it if you paid me to eat it. But that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Drop down in the comment section and let me know what you guys thought about it. Leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, share the video, and until the next time, you guys stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, wear a mask, you guys, socially distance, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful Memorial Day because there won't be Real Housewives of Atlanta tonight, and I don't think Love Match Atlanta comes on either. So I won't see you guys again until Monday for Basketball Wives.